We have all the injury news and updates that you need to be aware of heading into week 6 of the NFL regular season. We do have two teams on bye week this week, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Green Bay Packers. But before I get into it, if you could take a second, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you don't already so you know when new videos like this go live. Let's get into it. Let's start off with some players from the Thursday night game. We have the Denver Broncos taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. On the Broncos side of the ball, we have running back Javonte Williams, who missed last week's game due to a hip injury. He did return to practice this week in a limited fashion, so I do think there's a chance he suits up, but he is listed questionable. On the Chiefs side of the ball, we have tight end Travis Kelce, who's dealing with a low-grade ankle sprain. He's questionable for Thursday's game. He did log some limited practices, so I do think there's a good chance he's out there, but you are going to want to monitor these player statuses leading up to kickoff on Thursday. The Minnesota Vikings have placed wide receiver Justin Jefferson on the IR due to a hamstring injury he suffered during Sunday's loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. He's expected to miss a minimum of 4 weeks with the injury. In his absence, I do expect to see an uptick in production for KJ Osborne and rookie wide receiver Jordan Addison. But overall, I do think Kirk Cousins will favor tight end TJ Hawkinson in the absence of Justin Jefferson. But Justin Jefferson placed on the IR, out for a minimum of 4 games. The Miami Dolphins have placed running back Devon Achane on the IR due to a knee injury. It's not a season-ending injury, so they say there's a good chance that he could return for Week 11, a week after Miami's bye week, but he is out for a minimum of 4 weeks with a knee injury. In his absence, Jeff Wilson Jr., who was just activated off the IR, is expected to return to practice this week and will likely serve as the backup to Raheem Mostert. The Arizona Cardinals have placed running back James Conner on the IR due to a knee injury he suffered during Sunday's game. He's expected to miss a minimum of 4 weeks with the injury. In his absence, Keontae Ingram will serve as the RB1 for the Cardinals, with Amari DiMercato serving as the RB2, which a lot of people targeted Amari DiMercato on the waiver wire this week, including myself. But Keontae Ingram was listed as the RB1 for the Cardinals, so if you want to take a chance, Keontae Ingram is likely on your waiver right now, and you can go pick him up. The Indianapolis Colts have placed quarterback Anthony Richardson on the IR due to a shoulder injury he suffered during Sunday's game. He's dealing with the AC joint sprain in his throwing shoulder and is expected to miss anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks with the injury. In his absence, Gardner Minshew will serve as the starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. Los Angeles Chargers running back Austin Ekeler, who's been sidelined due to an ankle injury, tells reporters he has a 99% chance of playing this week against the Dallas Cowboys. So that's good news for fantasy owners. He hasn't played since week 1 due to the ankle injury, now coming back for a big game on Monday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys. Chicago Bears running back Khalil Herbert's dealing with a high ankle sprain that he suffered during Thursday night's game against the Washington Commanders. He's expected to miss some time with the injury. In his absence, I do expect Roschon Johnson to be the key beneficiary, but he's currently in the concussion protocol, so there's a chance that he doesn't suit up this week. And if he doesn't, Dante Foreman becomes someone that I'm interested in starting in fantasy this week against the Minnesota Vikings. Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson did not practice on Wednesday due to the shoulder injury that held him out of Week 4's game. The Cleveland Browns had a Week 5 bye week, so it's not a good sign that Deshaun Watson's still not practicing after the bye week. So this is a situation you're going to want to monitor leading up to the weekend. Detroit Lions wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown, who missed last week's game due to abdomen injury, returned to practice on Wednesday in a limited fashion. And when head coach Dan Campbell was asked about Amon-Ra St. Brown, he said he's more probable than questionable for this week's game. So it's looking like the Lions will have back their star wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown for this week's game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As for Lions running back Jahmyr Gibbs, who's dealing with a hamstring injury, he's considered day-to-day with the injury. He did not practice on Wednesday and is trending towards not playing Sunday. So this is a situation you're going to want to monitor leading up to kickoff on Sunday. Carolina Panthers running back Miles Sanders did not practice on Wednesday due to a shoulder injury. While this could just be a rest day for the veteran running back, I think this is a situation you're going to want to monitor, because if he's unable to suit up, Chuba Hubbard becomes a viable fantasy option. And honestly, Chuba Hubbard is someone that I'm looking to add on waiver wires because he's been getting more involved in this offense and honestly has looked like the better running back out of the two. But you're going to want to monitor Miles Sanders' status leading up to Sunday's game. New York Giants quarterback Daniel Jones is dealing with a neck injury and is considered day-to-day with the injury. He did not practice on Wednesday due to neck soreness, so this is a situation you're going to want to monitor leading up to the weekend. I really do think there's a chance that he misses this week's game. If he's unable to suit up, Tyrod Taylor would get the start. And that's going to do it for us today. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you don't already. Until next time, line 'em up.